Okay, I'm back. I had to fix something there. Okay, so I am so excited to dive in with you today for this magnetic client attraction training. We are good to go. Everything is set now. And I wanted to just say thank you so much for all of you who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. I had so much fun at my photo shoot. I was able to get some branding photos, have some champagne. So it was a lot of fun there. So I'm going to wait another couple seconds to let people jump on. Let me know that you're here whenever you join so that you can, so I can see your comments here on Ecamm Live. So if you go to the top of the broadcast, you will see a link that you can just click on. And that's what I was kind of troubleshooting there. I wanted to make sure that you guys could see it. Let me know that you're here. Give me some love. Give me some comments. And yeah, I wonder if I can invite group members. Okay, cool. All right, so we're just going to roll with it. Let me know that you're here. Yes, hi. Cheering you on as always. Beautiful. I don't know who that is, but thank you so much. Hi, Christy. Hello. Thank you for all the beautiful birthday wishes. And make sure, like I said, that you're granting Ecamm Live permission so that I can see who's commenting. Feel free to, yes, Nina, I see you. Perfect. As I'm moving through this transmission, feel free to just ask questions, and I'll be occasionally looking back here at the comments so that I can see, answer any questions, and so I can be really of service to you. And this kind of came through as a download on Saturday that I wanted to share with you. And I know that I'm going to be taking off to really be intentional for writing my part of the book for the next 10 days, starting June 30th to July 11th. So I wanted to give you one more last Facebook Live to be of service to you. And of course, those of you, I know Christy, Nina, you're an Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, so I will be still checking that group twice a day and serving you over there. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into this with you today because, again, this has just been really coming through. And this always happens as I start to focus on a project or write. I'm writing my book right now about really, this new paradigm in pharmacy and stepping into being a heart centered healer in healthcare. And so these themes are starting to come up. And as these downloads are coming through, I'm like, oh, I have to teach this. So you're getting kind of a sneak peek of some of the things that are coming through as I am tuning into the energy that wants to be channeled through in this book. So something that was coming through was around these three fundamental concepts of magnetism. Yes, I love it. I'm getting some hearts, some thumbs up here. And so I'm going to be taking you through that today. So, some concepts and practical things that you can take back into your business to become more magnetic. And what I love about Ecamm Live is I can show you different images. I created some fun images to really help seal this in so it makes sense for you and you can take these tangible things back into your business. So, I want you to just close your eyes for a second. As we start, I just want you to tune into a question as we feel into this theme of magnetism. So, closing your eyes, and I want you to feel the difference between these two things. So, the first thing is I need to get clients, right? I need to get clients versus I naturally attract and magnetize my soul clients. Feel the energetic difference in those two sentences, right? So, one is really pushing out, like I need to get clients. And one is, I get to magnetize them, I get to attract them. Much different energy. And it's a lot more, if you feel into the energy of the second sentence there, I get to magnetize. There's that energy of ease and flow, and that things get to be a lot more fun and interesting and easy, right? And so oftentimes we're running our business with this energy of the hustle, of needing to do all of these things in order to get to an outcome. And that is a big part of how I help women to transform their inner landscape of the old paradigm of needing to work really hard to achieve these outcomes that you seek in your business. So it's moving from that toxic masculine programming that we're used to in pharmacy, right? Of just put your head down, this is what you need to do, suppressing your feelings. Oh, you need to take a lunch break? Well, you can't, right? That's the old paradigm. Moving into full-time entrepreneurship, honoring your needs, taking breaks, allowing yourself to rest, knowing that you don't need to control every aspect of your business. It actually gets to be easier. So just kind of try on some of the different concepts that I'm going to be sharing with you today, because I guarantee it's going to help you feel this huge sense of relief and taking off a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves to get to 10K months. Like I hear that a lot. Yes, I love it, Nina. So it's allowed to be easy. Just feel the vibration of that, right? Just feel the weight fall off of you. And so the first thing that, I'm going to teach 3 different, kind of sentences or transmission, like things that came through. And the first thing that I really want to anchor in with you today is empowered action in your business comes from raising your vibration. And so you are an energetic being. You have a field of energy around you. You carry an aura, right? We are energetic. That attracts things to you. So your aura or your energetic field holds all of your subconscious programming, your beliefs about money, about how things get to be for you. It holds your feelings, your trauma, right? And so when we have this dense energy in our field, it creates these blocks. And I'm going to go into this concept next, but I'll just give you a little bit of a teaser. Blocks are really areas that we've blocked love, and we've experienced certain traumas and things that have happened that have withheld love from these different parts of us. So just feel into this. Empowered action comes from raising your vibration. You have a field of energy that surrounds you, and it's actually been shown through the Heart Math Institute that your heart is 100 times more magnetic than your brain. So they've actually shown this, and you can see this image here. This is your aura. Your heart radiates out. And so you can, again, law of attraction, we think of that. So if you have these subconscious beliefs that I have to work really hard to get any outcome, that is what comes back. So it's the energy that you're lacing through your business that really matters. It's in the being of how you are doing those actions and how you're carrying that out that is going to change what you're attracting. You're like an energy tower, right? You're transmitting all of these beliefs out into the world. And so this is why the inner work and subconscious programming and not just mind setting our way into a new reality is so important, because you are actually radiating a frequency right now. And the more that you tap into your heart, the more you can bring the energy back into your body to magnetize and radiate out. That's where the power is. So again, going back to those 2 sentences, seeking and I need to get clients, right? That kind of desperate, needy energy that's pushing out that people can feel, versus this is who I am. This is what I have. And this is a lot of the work we do in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, where I'm teaching you how to become more magnetic, how to own and communicate your brilliance so that people are just naturally dropping into your world because you're direct and you can say, this is my zone of genius with confidence. This is how I help people. And so I want you to think about, your energy and the fact that when you're holding on to these dense emotions from the past or these blocks, right? Maybe it's guilt, shame, fear, undigested pain that you maybe don't want to feel. So we all have different mechanisms for numbing this out, whether it's keeping busy or achieving or pushing through or overeating or drinking or whatever that is, because we don't want to feel the pain. When in reality, it's actually in feeling the pain and digesting our emotions and feeling it to liberate that energy that actually allows you to literally lighten up. So I always show this chart, my boy David Hawkins, and this shows right here that some of these more dense emotions, shame is one of the most dense emotions that your body can hold energetically. When you're holding on to these dense emotions, everything is really heavy. It's difficult to take action. And there's another chart here that I want to show you after I go through this that's going to show how this correlates to either the inaction that you take in your business or the flow that you experience in your business. So the more that you're holding on to these lower frequencies and these fears, a lot of people have fear of success, fear of shining, all of these unconscious fears, because we're afraid to really step into our light, because then we're going to have these negative consequences of, people are going to be jealous. I'm going to be left alone. What if I don't have enough time for my family? All of those things are at play. So literally, all of these unconscious things are anchoring you to these lower frequencies and pulling your energy down. And everything is a lot more difficult down in these lower levels. If you look as you raise up in power, there's more flow, there's more ease. And so moving through this work, the inner work that I always talk about is how you become more magnetic, because the more connected you are to your heart, the more you radiate out and attract naturally the people who are meant to work with you. The more you shine your light, the more people are like, oh yeah. Unconsciously, they're like, oh, I really resonate with that. I really, right? Think about the word resonate. You're energetically bonding and connecting with people. So lightening up through going through, these releasing processes. And again, in Elevate Entrepreneur, I give you specific things to help you to release these energetic densities, to help you shine your light, to help you to bring love back into your body, to feel safe to receive. Again, we think that, oh, I'm just going to read a book. I'm going to just, say affirmations. I'm going to do these things. But really the healing work is in the body, because your body is the subconscious mind, and it is trying to protect you because at some point it wasn't safe for you to be yourself. It wasn't safe for you to shine your light because you got punished or certain negative consequences happened. So doing this inner work is allowing yourself to feel safe. And this is how you begin to scale your business and reach higher levels of success. So one other thing I wanted to show you with this point was this chart. I found this on Google actually, and I remembered it. I was like, I knew it was somewhere. So if you're holding on to these lower frequencies, you're in inaction. Oftentimes people who are disempowered in these lower levels, and again, there's no right or wrong. I'm not shaming you at all by having these, traumas or having these experiences. I'm just bringing the information to you so that you know that there are ways that you can begin to release these blocks and to, share who you really are in the world, because that's how you transmute shame, is by being vulnerable and by sharing and owning, this is what I've been through. That's one way that you can begin to release shame. And so I challenge you all this week to share something that maybe is a little bit uncomfortable to share, that feels safe. It's kind of like meeting your edge of what feels safe for you to share. And just say, to your audience, this is what I've moved through, and this is how I can help you, right? Like bridging it back to, and this is how I can help you. This is what I'm really passionate about. So if you look in these lower levels, there's an action. Again, I had a really great, here we go. I have my notes here. So think about trying to push a bowling ball through a patch of grass, right? It's really heavy. The energy is very dense, and it's a little bit more difficult to push rather than having to have a golf ball. Like you're throwing a golf ball down a hill, right? That's super easy. It's like super light, no, really not much effort required. That's the difference in how this shows up practically in your business. Because when you're holding on to these lower frequencies, you don't want to be seen. You don't want to put yourself out there. So often these lower levels are full of self-sabotage and vicious cycles and keeping yourself small and hidden, because your subconscious doesn't feel safe to be seen. And so what we work in this inner work and releasing some of these things, the unconscious fears, the feelings of guilt, all of these things at the bottom, is that you actually begin to rise in power to where you're actually taking consistent action naturally. And this next point that I'm going to teach you, I think is really going to seal this in the next 2 points, because ultimately, when you feel stuck, you're holding on to these frequencies, right? Because it's stuck energy. Literally, you are experiencing the feeling of not being able to move forward. It's like hitting a brick wall or being in traffic. I always use that example, right? You're trying to get to your destination. You want to get to 10K months. You really, really want it, but your conscious mind only comprises 5% of everything you do. So you're trying to get through traffic, and it's like you're talking to the cars and you're like, hey, can you move? I really need to get to this destination. And the cars are like, all right, well, they're not going to move. So it's about involving your subconscious mind, the 95% of everything you do, to get your subconscious mind on board to say, you know what, it's okay to release this. It's safe to shine. It's safe to move through and release this stuck energy, which is keeping you in these lower levels, in inaction or self-sabotage or people pleasing. Like, there's so many different blocks that I could talk about, but some of the ones that I have written down are the ones I always talk about, people pleasing, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, analysis paralysis, overthinking, especially for pharmacists. I know, because, I've had to move through all of these blocks myself. These are the patterns that have been woven in our subconscious mind over and over again. So it's natural for you right now for that to be your default, for these to be automatic negative thoughts of needing to control, because as pharmacists, right, we need to control things in order to make sure that someone doesn't die. That's being translated and weaved through your business. And when you're in control, that is a contracted state of being. When you actually let go of control and open your energy, that's where you rise to these higher levels. And I can tell you, when I moved through releasing my control patterns, it was incredible. I experienced such a shift in the amount of clients that I could hold, in the amount of energy, right? Money is energy. The more wealth you can hold in these higher levels. So control is a big one that we don't realize we're gripping onto control. Again, going back to that very first question I asked you, we want to hold on to and grip and be attached, like, oh, is this client going to join my program, right? That's a lot of these unconscious things that are being weaved through your energy that your clients are feeling. I can remember, and I tell you all my stories. I think this was probably 3 years ago. I can remember getting on sales calls with people, and I would tell them the price and I would be really excited about it. And they kept saying, no, I don't have the money, all these objections. And it was because of my control patterns, because they could feel the energy of the neediness that was there, because I didn't feel safe in myself. I wasn't anchored in my power to be able to say, hey, this is what I have. This is my brilliance, be able to clearly communicate that out. And if you don't want to, sign up with me, that's cool too. Like, I'm going to still have fun over here, right? I'm going to serve the people who are ready, but I wasn't anchored in that yet. So the control is another big one, and control shows up too with overthinking. Like, if you're finding that you can't take action in your business, or you can't go on live on Facebook or whatever it is, sometimes that's what's kind of at the undertone of control, which is fear, right? So the first thing I want you to do is to just imagine that you're taking off the top layer of judgment, right? So right now I'm talking and you might be like, oh, fuck, like I do that too, and da-da-da-da. Take off the judgment, right? We're releasing that top layer of the judgment we put on ourselves when we're not getting the results we want. So just imagine that you're taking off, the way I'm kind of receiving it right now is like you're taking off a jacket. Just imagine you're taking off this jacket of judgment, which is removing love from yourself, right? When you're judging yourself or someone else, you're withholding love. So just take that off for a second. Just be like, all right, judgment's gone, right? We're just releasing the judgment right now. Hello, Facebook user, I can't see who you are, right? So we're taking off that top layer of judgment. Because ultimately, you're bringing love back into your body and you are radiating that love out. And love is magnetic. Again, going back to this higher state of being, love is at a level 500. So that's what we're moving towards, right? All of these things, I'm bringing up the thing about, blocks and this whole theme to bring you back to love, loving yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's what we're so used to, right? When we think of personal development, it's like, oh, what do I need to fix? What's wrong with me? What do I need to change? All of these things. But I want you to shift that. I want you to start thinking in terms of, okay, how do I actually begin seeing what I do right? So point number 2 is blocks are areas in your field where you've blocked love. The places where you judge yourself, where you take love away from yourself. Hi, Katie. Right? So this is the deeper shadow work we were talking about. Shadow work is really looking at the things about ourselves that we don't want to see. So control patterns, the blocks, the blind spots that we might not see for ourselves, which is why coaching is so imperative, because you can't always see what's blocking you. So having someone reflect it back and say, hey, this is what's coming up, and lovingly being able to know how to release it with specific tools is how you raise into those higher levels. So point number 2, blocks are areas in your field where you've blocked love. Number 3, self-sabotage shows up when your emotional bank account is depleted and you're trying to make choices that require higher account balances. This was key. When this came through, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to tell you what I mean by this. So I'm going to repeat it again. Self-sabotage shows up when your emotional bank account is depleted and you're trying to make choices that require higher account balances. So I want you to imagine that you're going to the grocery store and your bill, like I just spent $91 at Trader Joe's today because we had nothing in the house. But imagine if I only had $5 in my bank account. How would that feel? I have this cart full of groceries. I'm at Trader Joe's. I'd feel embarrassed, right? I'd be like, oh, I don't have enough money, right? This is what's happening energetically when you're trying to grow your business, but you're encountering this self-sabotage along the way. So if you're constantly bullying yourself, beating yourself up, you are depleted. Your bank account is $5 or a negative or whatever that is, and you're left feeling drained, ashamed, depleted, bad about yourself. And I want to help you shift that today. So say that you have $5 in your emotional bank account, but you're trying to make these choices that require a $300 check. I'm going to give you tangible examples of what this means. It leads you to feel bad about yourself, right? The same thing. In other words, these higher level choices that you need to be making 10K in your business a month, it requires higher levels of energy. So again, going back to David Hawkins, if you're down here and you're in these lower levels, but you're trying to make choices that lead to the higher, more ease and flow, it's going to make you feel ashamed of yourself. And then it goes back into the vicious cycle of, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, look what happened. It's not working. I don't want that for you, right? So if you're beating yourself up every day, if you're criticizing yourself and you're sabotaging, you're depleting your bank account, your emotional bank account. And you have this negative balance, but you're trying to earn 10K a month. You need to be making choices that align with that person who'd be making 10K a month. So here's the thing. You already know how to grow a business. You know the choices you need to be doing, right? Showing up consistently on social media, being direct with your calls to action, communicating your brilliance, reaching out to leads, investing in yourself, all of these things. But if you're in the lower levels, it can feel difficult to make those choices that require the higher bank account. So the way that you do this is that you actually gradually build up your bank account. So I made this image because it's just easy to see this, right? So say that you're at negative 100 right now in your emotional bank account. And again, don't worry about the money or the actual amounts. It's just an example. So when you start being nice to yourself and treating yourself well and taking care of yourself and doing the things that are not taking away from you, like judgment or judging yourself or beating yourself up all the time, you go from negative 100 to negative 50. And what happens with a lot of people is they'll start to say affirmations like, "Oh, I love myself." And then it feels inauthentic. Well, because you're still in the negative, right? So if you're telling yourself, the affirmations, or you're reprogramming your subconscious mind and it feels inauthentic, that's actually normal, because you need to get up to the point that you're at level 0, right? And then you start to feel, oh, wow, I can really receive this now. So the whole point of this is, right now, maybe you're down here, you're in self-sabotage and you want to get to ease and flow, but it feels so far away. This is why. Because the more that you bring love to yourself, and I know you're like, how is this even relating to business? I am promising you that this is so much of how your business grows. Because if you don't love yourself, you're going to keep self-sabotaging, right? You're going to keep tripping yourself up because you don't feel that you're worth receiving $10,000 a month. So even though you want it consciously, your subconscious mind is like, oh, nope, it's not safe to receive that much, because the last time you received something, it was taken away. Or the last time that, you had this experience with money, your employer, took it away from you, or whatever. We have these money memories that are in the subconscious, in your field, as a block anchoring you to the past. So that is why this inner work is so important. Bringing this up. We do this in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, helping you to neutralize money stories that you might have had from the past, so that you can show up with more power. Instead of feeling so depleted, instead of feeling like you need to beat yourself up to get results, which is typically what we've been taught. Like, I know I was taught that. My dad always, taught me that, just work hard, right? Just do what's necessary and push through, and you can get results by doing that. But it's going to be a hell of a lot harder than if you do the inner work to release this, to rise into these higher levels. So practically, you might be saying, all right, like, what does this look like? So releasing involves a lot of different things, right? It could be inner child work. It could be moving through grief that you're holding on to. It could be moving through the shame and the guilt. But again, if you don't know that it's there, or if you don't know how to move through it, it can feel really challenging. So this is why I've created my Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, to help you energetically and practically to move through releasing these blocks, through bringing more magnetism back into your body, because so often we give it away. We give our power away to putting money on a pedestal, like, oh, I can't possibly. That's a story, right? We can shift these beliefs. We can shift the way that we see money, the way that we relate to money, to ourselves. So much of this journey too is rewiring your subconscious self-image. So right now you might be a pharmacist and you're trying to get to 10K a month to be able to leave your pharmacy job. What stories do you have around your identity? Like, oh, I could never do that. Or, oh, I'm too afraid to do that, because then if I do have 10K a month, I'm going to be so overwhelmed with clients that I'm not going to be able to spend time with my family. These are all the things that come up as you're trying to get to these higher levels. And so often people will stay stuck, and they will stay trying to operate from this old, oh, I'm just going to push through, I'm just going to make this happen. And you get burnt out. So these are the themes I'm going to be talking about in my book that I'm writing with 20 other incredible souls, who a lot of them are on here right now. I can see you. Because there is a shift that needs to happen. It's an internal shift of your identity, the stories you have around money, feeling safe to shine, shining your light out in the world so that your clients see you, so that they want to hire you. Because what's happening is, like, I like this analogy too. It's like, you have one pedal on the gas, or one foot on the pedal on the gas and then one foot on the brake. So that's where you're feeling stuck, is like, I really want this desire, but then you're stuck because you're being pulled back by all these things from the past. This is how you begin to shift your vibration to elevate, by bringing back love into your body, by feeling safe to release a lot of these stories, beliefs, subconscious programming that is keeping you gridded in the toxic masculine of needing to struggle and force and push. Doesn't have to be that difficult, right? When you elevate your energy, when you raise your vibration by releasing shame, releasing guilt, moving through the fears, neutralizing the fears. One thing we do in Elevate Entrepreneur is tapping. And that's an emotional freedom technique to help you neutralize some of the fears that are coming through for you, so that you anchor in safety in your body to be able to receive higher levels of wealth and clients. And so what I want to leave you with here, actually, I had one more thing I wanted to show you. Was this? Oh no, I did show you that. The gradual increase. So, because I have that as a note here to show you that, this doesn't happen overnight, right? It's like, I've been doing this work for 10 years, and just in the last 3, I feel like I went from, and I've told this so many times, for the first 7 years of my business, I refused to get help. And I was just like, oh, I'll do it myself. Like, I'm a pharmacist. Can't be that hard, right? Like, I can totally, just will myself to create and attract clients. Well, number one, I was holding on to so much trauma that I couldn't do it. And I wasn't, like, it was very sporadic. Like, I would attract a client here and there. And then 2, I didn't have the strategies to know how to scale a business, scale a profitable business. And it's easy to stay stuck there, right? To be like, oh, I got it, right? Pride. See where pride is here. This is really important. Pride is below courage. So if you're holding on to pride and you won't ask for help, you're still in that suffering level there. So where can you begin to release? Just internally ask yourself this. Where can I let go? Whether it's judgment, I can let go of judgment of myself, of having these traumas, because really, I want you to know that we all have this. We all have experiences and feelings of rejection and disappointment. And if you don't learn how to navigate through these emotions, it will derail you in your business. And I still move through this stuff, guys. I'm experiencing a lot of just heart awakening and heart opening. Especially now being off my Zoloft, so much is coming through to be released, but I know that my magnetism is expanding, because the more you clear your heart, the more you feel and heal, your chakra system and your energy, the more radiant you become. So all of this ties in together and weaves in together to help you become more magnetic and authentic, right? Your clients want to know the real you. They don't want to see some picture perfect person that never has any struggles, that, just shows their highlight reel. They want to know the real you. So the more that you can move through this and release the judgment of, hey, I'm experiencing, my abandonment wound is coming right now. Being aware of these things is going to help you navigate at every next level of your business. So, whether you're going from 2K to 5K a month, 5K to 10K a month, whatever this is, and I've worked with a 7-figure coach who, like, literally talks about the same thing. And I would say that 90% of everything you do in your business is your frequency, and 10% is strategy, 5 to 10%. So really it comes back to this energetic work, doing the inner work to help you to, number one, become aware of what's coming through for me. What am I experiencing right now? Not suppressing it, not avoiding it, moving through it so that you can raise your vibration and have it be easy for you, right? That's why my tagline is helping you scale your business with ease and flow, because this is the new paradigm. This is the divine masculine frequency that is going to be really taking over, I believe, the profession of pharmacy. And it starts in entrepreneurship, where we can express our magnetism. A quality of divine feminine magnetism, divine feminine frequency is magnetism, authenticity, using your intuition, these are the things that start to come out the more that you do this inner work to release a lot of the old programming that we've learned, a lot of the, suppression of our emotions, which is a toxic masculine trait. So all of this and more is everything that we do in Elevate Entrepreneur is literally designed to help elevate you into the fullness of who you are, being self-expressed, not caring if, people judge you or whatever, because guess why? You always come back to self. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And when you get to that unshakable place, you don't care. It's okay if you talk to someone and they say, you know what, no, that's not a good fit for me. You don't make it mean anything about yourself. So often I see people, and I can relate to this too. You feel rejected when somebody says no to a program or whatever's happening. How are you dealing with that? Are you making a story out of it? Or are you making it mean that, oh, well, then I must not be meant for this, right? It's those disempowering stories that can really derail you. And I've seen this in myself, right? Like I am a pretty empowered person, and I still fall into that trap of like making up stories, right? And creating all of these scenarios like, well, why is this happening? And why is that happening? So having this awareness is key for scaling your business, because then you're not derailed. You're allowing yourself to keep elevating and scaling and moving forward and shining your light and making an impact and getting paid abundantly for your gifts, which is what I want for all of you. So I want to hear some questions here. If anybody has questions or comments, I would love to hear that. And one more thing that I'm hearing coming through right now is someone's kind of asking, all right, well, like, how do I fill my emotional bank account? Well, it's through, like, I do this every day. I connect with my own heart. I do mirror work and tell myself, I'm so proud of you. I actually have a video on Instagram. If you go on Instagram, it's a pleasure practice that I do to bring the energy back into my body so that I'm like, hey, honey, how are you feeling today? Because your inner child is also a part of your business. And if your inner child is scared to come out to shine because she got bullied or whatever happened in your childhood, that's part of this journey too, the inner child healing, to help your little girl feel safe to come out and play and be fun in your business. So I know I'm throwing a lot at you right now, but this is part of the inner transformation, the inner child work, connecting back to your body, releasing traumas, allowing yourself to communicate your brilliance. It's all of that inner work in addition to the practical strategies that will help you scale your business. And this is everything we do in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. So I do have 3 spots left for this incredible experience. And we're going to be closing the doors for that on the 30th. So if you've been kind of on the fence, or if you just have questions and you're like, hey, I don't know if this is for me, just private message me after. I'll be around for the next half hour. And I would love to just connect with you, hear what you're moving through in your business, and see if Elevate Entrepreneur is something that would really help you to scale your profitable business so that you are able to transition out of your pharmacy job, so that you're able to serve more people, to feel lit up instead of burnt out. I know what that's like, and I want so many more pharmacists being activated into who you really are so that you can create this domino effect in the world. We need more divine feminine leadership now more than ever. So if that's been resonating with you, if you've kind of been like, Elevate Entrepreneur, I'm not sure, just message me and we'll just talk. No pressure, just, conversation. And then I'm going to be closing the doors for that on the 30th, and then won't be reopening that until the fall. So if that's been resonating for you, just let me know. I would love to just chat and just private message me. I also have payment plans available if that is something that you're interested in. So anyway, I hope that you got a ton of value from this training, and I just can't wait to, birth this book with all of you amazing people who are watching this. There's 20 women who I know, through sharing their story and sharing about their heart-centered journey are going to impact so many pharmacists. So this was kind of just a taste of some of the things that I'm going to be sharing about in the book. that I know will make an impact for you as you scale your business and continue to shine your brilliant light out in the world. So I am sending you so much love. Thank you for, again, the beautiful birthday wishes. And I will see you on the next Facebook Live. Bye.